quality of the submissions at the Asia Pacific Effies is always very high because actually it's the best of the best from across the region. I thought this year's standards were extremely good. There were very few poor entries, all were very high standard.
It's campaigns that make you think, that change perceptions, behaviors, drive action. It makes you say, wow, it's so good. So it's really work that works.
I've been judging Effie Awards for well over a decade. Every time I do so, I'm always surprised and delighted to find little gems that, to be honest, I wish I'd done myself.
It's about telling the narrative. It's about telling the story of how all your individual pieces from the campaign came together. And I must say that this year they were really a step up. There were some really good entries in there.
I was greatly impressed by the quality of the entries, how the challenge and the solution were presented, and most importantly, the tangible results, business growth, sales, awareness, engagement, and that made the campaigns stand out.
What makes a great marketing effectiveness? A challenge that makes most of us as marketeers a bit jealous. An idea that makes most creatives squirm out with jealousy because they didn't think of it.
True measure of any piece of work can only be, did it work? For anyone working in the field of advertising and marketing in the Asia Pacific region, this is a masterclass and session of inspiration that will push us all to do better next year.
Building a culture of marketing effectiveness starts with knowing what outcomes you're going to need, having a clear purpose, clear deliverables, and a reliable way to measure it all.
What you really want with an Effie is a truly outstanding and unique piece of work. And that should be pretty obvious straight away. I think as the world becomes more complex and volatile, the successful companies will be the ones who can pull things off the way that Pantene did with the hairy tail.
The Manulife campaign really found a way to be super fresh with the creative, with the idea, with the messaging, which is like so on point with what really the audience has to go through at that period of their life. So really well done and really different than what you see in the category.
I thought the studs case history was very well written, but it really came to life for me when I saw the execution, which I thought was really intriguing and very, very clever.
It's a huge privilege to be the first marketer to chair the Effies here in APAC, for which I must once again thank the organisers. After a lot of agonising, we took a fairly early call to make the entire competition a virtual event from start to finish, and I think that was the right thing to do.
The teleconferencing experience this year was surprisingly good. I think teleconferencing is a little bit like social media. You feel a freedom to express things perhaps that you wouldn't do face to face. So I thought the exchanges were quite robust and extremely interesting.
This year there were clear winners from the start go, so that was fabulous. Keep it simple. The assessment criteria is pretty straightforward. Be direct, address them head on.
But what's more critical, and really critical in order for you to win an Effie, is to think about how effective your campaign was. How are you treating those individual storylines into one to achieve the brand goals?